So we look at this. It says farmers in the U.S. Midwest are squeezed by Trump's tariffs, is what it says. Tariffs and climate crisis, right? And we say a climate crisis. What kind of climate crisis is going on? Well, you've had a lot of hailstorms that have destroyed crops over the past year or two. You've had a lot of heat, so drought. And one thing that the heat does, and when you have these fluctuations in the humidity and the change in the temperature, it makes way for a fungus or disease called blight. Blight is basically it's a fungus that will just destroy crops. But one of the reasons that is so important right now during these times is the fact the Bible talks about blight being a plague in Egypt, right? So am I saying that this is necessarily it? I'm not saying that, but I'm saying when we measure the times, we have to look at the different layers of things that are going on. We have to take multiple prophecies that are interconnected. We have to analyze them. We have to measure them. We have to look and see what's happening, because prophecy can be taught by historical events, and prophecy is taught by things that haven't happened yet also, right? We review prophecy. That's the teaching of the historical aspect of prophecy, right? Things that have already happened. Break this down. Look at that. Look at secular history. This is where we can see this actually happening. But then things that are to happen, it's the prophet's job to warn the people and to give the foreknowledge of things that are going to happen. Where there is no vision, the people perish ultimately. That's in Proverbs, right? And the vision is not talking about just somebody giving a plan. When you look it up, it's a prophetic vision, right? So prophetically, we have to be able to see these things happening as wisdom and knowledge, as knowledge increases, right? As knowledge increases, technology is helping that knowledge to increase. And then we can see these things lining up, through the Spirit. So, and it's our job to get the blood off of our hands as servants of God, servants of the Most High, to get the blood off of our hands and to warn the people, right? To keep the laws, the statutes, and the commandments, and have faith in who the world calls Jesus Christ, right? Real name in the Hebrew, Yahawashi. So, but this right here, we go into 2nd Ezra, chapter 15, verse 13, right? And we can see what it says. It shows you about a plague in Egypt, and then it shows you about the blight and the hailstorms, right? And this stuff is destroying the crops. When you slide to 2nd Ezra, chapter 16, it then tells you at a point in time that provisions are going to be thought to be so cheap and basically easy for you to get to, that ultimately at a point in time, they're going to start to get really expensive, right? And why is that? Because if you have low supply, it's going to drive the price up, right? So we can see these things, happening in real time in front of us, and we can't ignore them, and we can't turn our back on these things, because it's our job as servants to show and to warn the people. So if you have any questions about this or any other prophecies, make sure to hit the comments, or you can DM me.